Did you see the whole situation with Chris Rock and Will Smith? I'm assuming you did.
Yeah.
What did you think of it to start with?
So I was sort of in between the two of them because I can get why Will Smith done what he done and why he was annoyed, but I also don't think he went about it the best way.
What's your opinion on people going to shows where there's comedians that do roasts? Because at the Oscars, even though it's not a comedy show, they always hire comedians, right?
Yeah, exactly. But the point behind it is that it's not, you're not going to, say, a stand-up comedy show. You're not going to a roast. You're literally going to watch an award ceremony. So you shouldn't go there feeling like you are going to get targeted, especially if it is something, a condition that maybe you've suffered with mentally. I think Will Smith had every right to defend his wife. However, I don't feel it was fair to use violence. And
So he didn't have every right?
no. He could have dealt with it off stage as well.
My problem with what Will Smith did before we get into this video is...
Are you team Will?
No.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I am... So, like, Will Smith... Everyone... I think Will Smith was like a hero to everyone at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gone the complete opposite way. And, I mean, we'll get into the specifics of the apology in a minute. But in terms of the slap, just to get my 2 cents across, I don't understand people, whether it's comedy shows or award shows, like the Oscars, the Emmys, or whatever else they do. All of these things... You have comedians out. Normally it's a comedian hosting, right? And if it's not a comedian hosting, they're going to come up and do a bit. Will Smith and Jada have put their lives out there for everyone to see. And of all the lives to put out there, I don't know why you would publicize that one, given how Jada has emasculated Will. So you go to an award show, there's comedians, you sit in the front row. After you have publicized your marriage and the crazy things going on, you know, Jada sleeping with a boy the same age as her son, all of these things have been publicized. So, and you sit in the front row of a gigantic award show like that. In my opinion, if you go to a comedy show, if you go to an award show, you should know that comedians are going to roast you and just hold it together. No one is exempt from getting a little bit of a roast, especially when you put your stuff out there for everyone to see. And then on top of that, not only did he handle it poorly, but he got on stage afterwards and was applauded by the audience.
Yeah.
And these are the same people that stand against violence, that are, you know, they're always advocating for something that is you know, that it's always just woke stuff. But then when that happens, Will stands on stage and gets a standing ovation after he's just embarrassed another man on live TV. And we all know why he slapped him. Because his wife has embarrassed him so much, he felt like he had to reclaim his masculinity.
I feel like it's all well and good saying that he embarrassed Chris Rock, but Chris Rock also just embarrassed him and his wife. I was always team Chris Rock. I don't think it's fair. He's just like doing his job and that happened. However, at the same time, I look at it on both sides and I feel like it's one of them things you won't actually understand how it feels until you're in that position. Do you know what I'm saying? Until you've maybe seen your wife go through the distress she's gone through because of the condition, or until you experience it yourself, you're never going to understand the emotions that are flying behind that sort of reaction. The reaction was uncalled for. As a man, you should know how to handle things. As a celebrity in the public eye, you should know how to handle things. But I think you can understand the reasons why he did do what he did.
The reasons he did what he did is because Jada has embarrassed him so much on TV because bear in mind, when Chris Rock made that joke, Will was laughing and clapping. Will found it funny to begin with, right? Yeah. Then he looked at his wife and his wife gave him the signal. I said, you really going to let him laugh at me like that? Yeah. And Will, like I said, he's really been emasculated to the point that, you know, Jada basically clicked her fingers without clicking her fingers, and Will got up and did what he had to do.
I think it's ridiculous him doing that, though, considering she's the one that should be, like, more so making it up to him. Yeah,
I don't know what Will's doing with her. I don't think anyone knows what Will is doing with Jada. It's not like she has more money than him. It's not like she's more famous than him. It's not like she's a better actress than him. Or actor. Will Smith was the Fresh Prince, you know. It was that situation. Yeah. I mean, this whole thing with her bringing him on the red table and embarrassing him like that, letting the whole world know that she was in an entanglement. The nerve of this woman, and the nerve of people to be online defending her, saying, you know, like it's cool. You know? Will was showing up, and the award show was the final cherry on the cake.
Why didn't you apologize to Chris in your acceptance speech? I was fogged out by that point. It's all fuzzy. I've reached out to Chris, and the message that came back is that he's not ready to talk, and when he is, he will reach out. So I will say to you, Chris, I apologize to you. My behavior was unacceptable, and I'm here whenever you're ready to talk.
Do you feel like that's genuine, or do you feel like he's been told to say this?
It's probably a little bit of both, to be honest with you. I can imagine he's extremely embarrassed about what he's done. I think that he knows that he acted in the heat of the moment. Obviously, this is a highly edited video. He's probably had conversations with his managers, his agents, his wife, his publicist, whoever, and they've said you need to apologize because public perception is quite bad right now. So it's probably half and half. I can imagine, just from a human side of it, he probably does feel terrible about what he's done. I gotta say, like, if it was The Rock or Jason Momoa out there insulting his wife, he would not have gotten up.
He wouldn't have done it,
because he would have been put straight back down.
Not.
If that was Brock Lesnar making a joke about your wife, you're not getting up and slapping Brock Lesnar. Chris Rock's a very small man, and he clearly doesn't go to the gym, or at least he doesn't weight lift. He doesn't look like someone that would fight. He doesn't look intimidating, is what I'm saying. Will Smith's a big guy. Don't forget, he played Muhammad Ali, and he played it well.
Yeah.
Will Smith knows how to fight, even if it's not at a professional level. Will Smith's not a small guy. He picked on a small guy on stage. So
I want to apologize to Chris's mother. I saw an interview that Chris's mother did, and that was one of the things about that moment. I just didn't realize, and I wasn't thinking, but how many people got hurt in that moment. So I want to apologize to Chris's mother. I want to apologize to Chris's family, specifically Tony Rock. We had a great relationship. Tony Rock was my man, and this is probably irreparable. I spent the last 3 months replaying and understanding the nuances and the complexities of what happened in that moment.
I'll tell you what happened in that moment. There's not that many nuances and complexities. His wife has his balls in her purse, and she clicked her fingers. She gave him that death stare, the same stare that she gave people on. Have you ever seen her in Gotham?
No, I haven't.
She played a character called Fish Mooney. As far as I'm concerned, Jada Pinkett Smith and Fish Mooney are the same person.
Boy! Sorry. If you let this hair go frizzy, you will be.
She's not playing a Batman villain. She is that. That's who she is.
You sound very anti-Jada.
I'm very anti-Jada. I've been
Really?
anti-Jada for years, but she's done a lot more in the last 2 years to make me really not like her. I don't know how anyone could be Team Jada. Look at this man's face. Look at his face. He's defeated. And there's videos online of him saying, "Don't record me, don't put my life on social media," and her saying, "Look what I have to deal with." You're with Will Smith. She's the lucky one here.
Yeah.
On top of that, a lot of people don't know that she was with Tupac before she was with Will. I don't know how a lot of people don't know this. She was in love with Tupac, and Will was always second place. Even when Will was getting with her, he was second place. After Tupac died, he was still second place. So much so that Willow was writing letters to Tupac, a man she never met, who is dead. Do you know how crazy that is?
What was she writing in them letters?
That mommy misses you, mommy
Oh
loves
my
you, and that.
God.
Do you know how mad that is?
That shows as well how much she must have been talking about it within the family home as well.
Yeah, that's mad. Imagine you were with someone,
Yeah.
and you're dating this guy, and he keeps on talking about Samantha from 10 years ago.
I could not personally.
I don't know why Will would put up with this, because Will's not some regular Joe Schmo. He's Will Smith, an insanely popular rapper, and an even more insanely popular actor. People love Will.
And I'm not going to try to unpack all of that right now, but I can say to all of you, there is no part of me that thinks that was the right way to behave in that moment.
Do you believe there's no part of him that believes that that was the right way to behave?
I think so, yeah.
Zero.
Yeah.
I don't
Because
believe
like you're saying, it's this whole situation with Jada, so I feel like he's probably sitting there taking in his actions and the reasons as to why it's happened. Do you know what I'm saying?
Do you think if the internet didn't hold him as accountable as they have, that the Oscars didn't ban him, that Netflix didn't cut production on his films, you know, he didn't turn into a meme, that he would still react this way?
I think that they're all contributing factors of reminding him that what he did was not okay. Obviously, if everyone was online going, yeah, Will did the right thing, he's completely in the right, as any human, even if you had an argument in the day-to-day life, you'd ask someone, am I in the wrong?
Yeah.
The minute someone tells you, no, do you know what, you're right, you'll start to sit there and feel like, do you know what, it was okay what I'd done. But knowing that so many different people from so many different avenues have told you that was wrong, I think he has taken it into account, digested what's happened, and actually accepted, you know what, that is wrong.
No, that's a fair point. I'll concede that. I still think there's a 1%. There's a little part in him that's
happy
like,
he
yeah,
got
you,
the smacking.
yeah, you deserve that smack. Don't talk about my woman. I think there's still a little part of him. I don't believe there's no part, but I think he knows that what he did was wrong.
Yeah, I think any guy defending his wife or having someone say talk shit about your wife would feel an element of, I don't know, even masculinity, knowing that you stood up for her. Because if that was on the streets with two normal people who aren't in the public eye and one said something about the other's wife, of course he would.
Yeah,
do you know
but
what I
that's
mean?
completely different. Like if we're walking on the streets and someone talks to my girl, you're not a comedian. I didn't pay to come to a comedy show, an award show.
Yeah, I get your point.
Like you're attacking me.
Yeah, but in terms of him feeling like the 1% chance you're saying of him feeling okay with what he done will come from that element of knowing I've defended my wife.
There's no part of me that thinks that's the optimal way to handle a feeling of disrespect or insults. After Jada rolled her eyes, did she tell you to do something? No.
He's a goddamn liar. Why are you defending this woman?
In terms of that question, do I think she told him to do something? No, but I think the look says enough. Like, you know, I don't know if you would have had it, but if I was younger and I was out, if I was misbehaving, my mum, all she had to do was give me the look and I'll know to stop, because when I get home, I'm in trouble. Actually, maybe she saw him laughing and he saw her reaction, and then he was like, shit, I need to do something to redeem the fact that she's seen me laughing. Otherwise, she's going to stick it on me when I get home.
Yeah. There's also that. But
the guilt of that.
But Jada doesn't have to say anything because she has his balls in her purse. That's what happens. Let's say you farted right now.
Yeah.
And I gave you a look. I was like,
yeah.
I don't need to say anything to you.
Yeah.
But you've clearly annoyed me, right? Jada looked at her and she was like, her look basically said, are you really laughing right now?
I'm going to be completely honest. If that was me and I went through that condition and my partner saw me go, I'm not saying she was really depressed about it, but let's say my partner saw me go really depressed because of that, and we're out and someone takes the mick of it, which I didn't think Chris Rock's joke was all that bad.
It was not
but
that
anyway,
bad.
if somebody embarrassed me on national television, that's really changed my life, and I saw my partner laughing, I would be fuming. So I would give a look as well. Like, you think that's funny?
She hasn't got cancer. She's got alopecia.
I know, but Michael, you've got a lot of hair.
Yeah.
A lot of hair. If it happened to you, trust me, you would feel very, very gutted and upset.
100%.
So there
and
we
you
go.
know, I'm gonna get older, and I'll
hair
probably.
Hair is a big thing. It's life changer for a woman, especially as well. Your hair is your look, and when you start to lose it and stuff,
that's not fair to say. If I lost my hair, people would roast me, right? But let's be real. Like, men lose their hair all the time. You're gonna see me one day, and my hair will probably not be in the state that it's in right now. And men have to deal with getting the bald jokes day in and day out. The simple fact that she's a woman doesn't make her exempt from getting roasted.
It doesn't make her exempt, but I think anyone who's got a hair condition shouldn't be roasted.
But we roast people for everything. Comedy shows are savage with
but it's not a comedy show. It's an award ceremony.
Award shows have historically hosted comedians, and the comedians will pick a few people out in the crowd and they'll roast them. It's been like that for how many years now? Anyone that goes to an award show and sits in the front row, right in line with the comedian, must know that shit's about to go down.
I get it, but
especially
going back
when
to
your
your
life is out
point
there.
as well of the male versus female, right? It's more, the reason why I say that is because it's more common for men to have short hair and women to have long hair. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I get the whole image
Yeah.
thing with women. I
Yeah.
understand that women losing their hair is a big.
If I have a
big
bad
deal.
hair day, I don't want to leave the house.
It is what it is. Like, my hair's not always gonna look nice, right? At some point,
That's-
when I'm 50, it's probably my hairline's gonna be back here. That's just what it is.
Comparing a style, though, to someone losing their hair without wanting it to is two different things.
No, but no, what I'm saying to you is that if I lost my hair, if I was famous and I lost my hair and then I went to an award show or a comedy show or some sort of show where I know a comedian is going to be hosting, because they all knew Chris Rock was going to be hosting, I wouldn't go there if my feelings were going to get hurt and then complain. And I most certainly would not sit in the front row, right in line of a comedian like Chris Rock, who for years has been at the top of the game, and you think they're not going to roast you. Why? Because life's been unfair to you. That's just how it goes.
But I do think it all does play into society being too sensitive these days as well.
100%. And if she was truly sensitive about all of these things, they wouldn't put themselves out there so much. I know he attacked her over her hair, so I guess you could say all the other things are irrelevant. But the joke itself was extremely tame. It was so tame that Will Smith laughed and clapped.
Yeah.
It's just because she owns his soul that he got up and smacked the taste out of his mouth.
It's like, you know, I made a choice on my own, from my own experiences, from my history with Chris. Jada had nothing to do with it. I'm sorry, babe. I'm going to say sorry to my kids and my family for the heat that I brought on all of us. To all my fellow nominees, you know, this is a community. It's like I won because you voted for me. And it really breaks my heart to have stolen and tarnished your moment. I can still see Questlove's eyes. You know, it happened on Questlove's award. And, you know, it's like I'm sorry really isn't sufficient. What would you say to the people who looked up to you before the slap, or people who expressed that you let them down?
I just want to say something before you answer this question. Will Smith he's just a human being, right? We all make mistakes. And what I'm saying is I don't like these people that, you know, they make it about themselves. Will's going through some shit.
Yeah.
And the only other person that's really been affected here is Chris Rock and maybe the Rock family. Yeah, like these people that are making it about them, it's like, get over yourself. Like Will Smith, yeah, he acted stupidly. We can critique what he did, but why are you making it about you?
I completely agree.
It's ridiculous.
100%, yeah.
Every time something happens, it's like, oh my God, my life's been turned upside down because of something that someone I don't know has done.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree.
So on that front, Will Smith's a human being. He'll probably continue to make mistakes. We know he's going to continue to make mistakes because he's not going to leave Jada. That's mistake number one. I don't think he should be in that marriage, but then I don't know everything that's going on there. To me, Jada seems like a bit of a parasite, the best way that I could really put it. She seems like a parasite of Will Smith.
I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Like, I get your point.
You don't want to call her a parasite.
No, it's just, I don't know. I do find it hard to pass judgment when you only see what's being put out there. You don't see the full picture.
True.
But do I feel like she's made a lot maybe go wrong for him, or maybe messed with him a bit mentally? Yeah.
Man, sleeping with your son's friend.
Yeah.
That is all kinds of mad. That was really the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, but that is where you do just have to sit there and think, why is he still with her? Like, what is it?
I think she might be a witch, like a real one, like some sort of supernatural hold over Will Smith, something that we don't know about. Maybe I'm gonna get cursed putting this video up. I don't trust her. There's something about Jada that creeps me out. Like I said, Fish Mooney and Jada Pinkett Smith are the same person.
I made you.
She's not playing a character on Gotham. That is who she is.
So there's two things. One, disappointing people is my central trauma. I hate when I let people down. So it hurts. It hurts me psychologically and emotionally to know I didn't live up to people's image and impression of me. And the work I'm trying to do is I am deeply remorseful, and I'm trying to be remorseful without being ashamed of myself, right? I'm human, and I made a mistake, and I'm trying not to think of myself as a piece of shit. So I would say to those people, I know it was confusing. I know it was shocking. But I promise you, I am deeply devoted and committed to putting light and love and joy into the world. And, you know, if you hang on, I promise we'll be able to be friends again.
So I feel like he's right in the sense of, you know, where he's saying like, I'm only human. The people who are there in the comments probably really talking down on him about what he's done, probably in their lifetime on a day-to-day, they've probably done some of the same sort of stuff. Imagine somebody, like half of these people might be like on the roads driving and get a bit of road rage and then just become really aggressive or take their frustration out on someone else and things like that. So I feel like people are talking down on him but not really watching what they're actually doing on a day-to-day, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I think it's okay to critique someone when you see them doing something stupid, I guess. The people that are going overboard and saying that, you know, they feel personally attacked or whatever, those people are idiots. Like,
boohoo.
Yeah, the Twitter mob, basically, the people you see writing dumb comments all the time. There's a couple things he said there that I find a little bit weird. The first thing he said was that that he's trying to be remorseful without being ashamed of himself. But it's okay to be ashamed of yourself when you do something wrong. Part of the learning process is understand where the shame came from, right?
I get it, but I think maybe with how much he's been scrutinized for what he's done, it's probably made him feel really lesser as a person. So he needs to try and keep his spirits high. Yeah,
you can keep your spirits high, but the shame that you feel, right? If I wrong you and you come and you say to me, Mike, you know, you did this to me, you did that to me, it's deeply hurt me. I would feel shame because I know it's wrong. It's okay to be ashamed. I don't really get what he means when he says that. This thing about not being ashamed of himself, he should be ashamed of what he did. That's how you learn. Being ashamed of yourself doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It means that you did something wrong, you did something bad, but it doesn't define you as a person. So it's okay to feel shame. I've done things to people that I care about that I felt shameful afterwards.
Yeah.
And feeling that shame,
happens.
Yeah, the shame makes you realize that I did something wrong. It's okay to be ashamed. It's okay to point out that you've done bad things, but it doesn't necessarily make you a bad person as a whole. So I don't really get that. And then the ending where it was like, we'll be friends again. I don't know who he's talking to.
I think it's just overall for the whole thing, because obviously a lot of people are looking down on him. So maybe it's just him trying to put a bit of light out there that one day everything will be back to normal. That's the way I took it.
The way I see it, yeah, is that Will Smith wasn't my friend to begin with. Will Smith was a rapper and an actor. He provided me with entertainment. That's all he has to really do. Let's be honest, the Oscars or that wherever he slapped Chris Rock was not entertaining for years. That was the most entertaining thing that has happened on TV in years. People forgot about Ukraine and Russia when that happened. All the people with their Ukrainian flags in their bio virtue signaling, nobody was tweeting about Ukraine. Nobody was tweeting about Black Lives Matter. Correct. Nobody was tweeting about any of this stuff that was going on. It was all Will Smith and Chris Rock for about a week. Yeah, there's people being blown up in another country. So in terms of entertainment, Will's done his job. He's kept the planet entertained. Will's not my friend, he's not your friend. He's an entertainer. He provides us with good or bad films, and that's it. I don't think he needed to do this public apology. I think this is something that should have been handled in private with the Rock family. But
he has said in the beginning that he has tried to reach out and Chris Rock's not been very forthcoming with it.
He said that he's not ready to speak.
Yeah.
I guess this was more to protect his image and let
that's
people
exactly
know.
all it is.
Yeah.
Exactly all it is, because if he didn't put an apology video out there, people would still be making comments, oh, you know, he doesn't care, or he's not even like being brave enough to come out and apologize. So I feel like he probably would have got scrutinized even more by not apologizing.
Yeah, most likely. But you know what? This whole thing with Will smacking Chris Rock, I've seen a string of videos online of comedians being attacked on stage now. I saw one, I think it was T.I. He got on stage.
What, since then?
Yeah, since then, this is another comedian who is on stage. I'm going to play the video for you guys to see now because a lot of people probably haven't seen this. And shout outs to this comedian. I don't really know who he is. I think his name is, Johnny Mitchell. I'd never heard of him before, but shout outs to this guy because he was in front of an extremely hostile crowd. And a couple of times you could see that he was fearing for his life. He continued telling the jokes. And, I was sitting there laughing because I couldn't believe how brave this guy was. And this guy got in his feelings and got on stage and you'll see.
Yeah.
That means you fucked up your cut to your bullshit, gay shit. You got cut.
Damn, bro. That guy's been fucked in every hole. You never been fucked? See, exactly. I'm way more G than you, bro. I'm way more gangster than you. You snitched. Hey, you snitched. That's how you got out of your bit, bro. I took that shit
I think that people just feel too entitled these days, and I think that guy was guilty. That's why he reacted like that.
Yeah, he got called out for snitching. Like, I understand that, like, being branded as a snitch in the hood is a death sentence a lot of the time, but don't go to a comedy show and then expect to not get called out. I don't get what's wrong with you people.
People get really defensive when they know they have done something wrong. Me personally, though, I don't think that was a reaction caused by what happened with Chris Rock and Will Smith. I think that was more so just he looks like a little aggressive fucker.
Possibly.
You know what I mean? And if they was on the streets, he'd probably react the same because he has been called out for being a snitch. So I think that that was inevitable. Yeah. Whether the Chris Rock thing happened or not.
Potentially, 100%. Moral of the story, guys, don't go to comedy shows if you're sensitive, and don't sit in the front row especially.
And don't be a snitch.
Yeah, don't be a snitch.